Hey folks, good morning. This is May 10th, 2025, and welcome to 952 Freedom. My name is Alex. In this channel, we document a journey using high yield dividends, using the margin hammer strategy, and other ways in order for us to build an income to replace our 9 to 5 job. So glad you're here, and let's hop right into it. We don't have all day. This isn't Cambodia where we stream for hours. Okay, folks, today we're going to review this week's performance on our dividends. This is week 18. I started this journey beginning of the year. I initially invested around $12,000 and middle of March invested $175,000 more. And we want to see how we did. So, market's been a little bit choppy this past week. I'll just show you what's going on here right now. S&P 500. So last 5 days, as you can see, we're kind of off and on, back and forth, really not too much movement. Ended the week with only a 0.08% gain. So that's what's going on there. This weekend, there are talks about some negotiating tariff deals with China. Everybody's meeting in Geneva. I think the talks actually started today. So we'll see what happens from that. We're being positive and hopeful. Let's jump into the portfolio. We'll show you how it's performing. Okay, so my largest position here, as you can see, is SPY. I'm holding this over the weekend. I kind of messed up on my trade on Friday, so don't worry about that. That's hopefully going to bounce back next week. If hopefully these talks go a little bit better, but that's a different strategy that I'm doing. That's the margin hammer strategy, and I'll talk about some of the wins that I got this week. My largest position is XDTE. Right now, it's down 10.5% for the year. Looks like we had a little bit of uptick on Friday. QQQI, this is one of my favorite ones. I think it's performing pretty good. Down only 2.62% for the year. GPQ down 3.94. SPY, one of my favorite ones, is down only 3.24, and XPay is only down 5.58. So then we get into some of the more risky plays. This is Bitcoin, BTCI. Look at that. That went up 8.8% year to date. So Bitcoin price, I think we're at all-time high right now. We're sitting at $103,000. So that's pretty crazy. So that's really helping offset some of the losses. QDTE down 12% for the year. Not really impressed with this one. They do pay more dividends, but you're kind of getting your own money back. A little bit of a Cambodian play. MSTY, another one that's tied to Bitcoin with MSTR. As you can see, that's been going up. PLTY, this is on Platy. This one has recovered quite a bit. NVIDIA down 12.5%, kind of in line with QDTE. This is pretty good. I think it's bouncing back a little bit. AIPI, this is a play on some of the AI companies. That's down 6%. SMCY, this one's kind of crappy. I have 200 shares of this. This one's down 30%. I mean, that's one of my largest down positions considering how much I have in here. YMAX, I'm just running these out. These are down 20%. And then we have the stupid cornerstone funds down 18 and 21, and some other chump change stuff that doesn't even matter. Okay, so that's what we got. Let's look at the dividend view. We'll just see what we're projecting for this year. Looks like it's projecting here $60,582 right there. So this went up slightly. So we'll see how that's going to balance out. I do want to balance out some of these funds. I want to see if any of them will recover by end of this month. If they don't recover, I might sell some of them and reposition into some better funds. So that's what's going on. Let's talk about what I got in dividends this week. This is why you guys are here. That's why we make it brief. We make it tactical. This is week 18. I've been tracking this for 18 weeks already, folks. Starting from the left side of the screen here, SMCY. This is one of those positions that I'm down quite a bit. paid out $310, which is pretty good. So let's see what I have here. SMCY is what is it projecting for? Okay, so that's paying 110% dividend. Okay, so we'll see. I mean, maybe we'll just get our money back out of it. Maybe we don't have to take a loss, and this is why I'm kind of debating about it. So I got pretty hefty payout from that. XDT. Now, I mean, this is again, I have a much larger position than XDTE. I have like $43,000 in it. I got 347 bucks. This is on a higher side compared to some of these other weeks where we were like under 300 bucks. So I got a pretty nice payout there. QDT got 61 bucks. RDT got $1. XPay $343. So that's pretty good. That's exactly the same thing we got last month. So what they're targeting is what they're trying to deliver. Now let's just do some math. 343.18. Okay, because I don't think this mathed last time. 340, what did I say? 343.18, right? 343.18. Let's say we get that 12 months in a row. That's 41.18. Okay, 41.18. And my position in it, XPay, I have 18,089. So that's a 22.7%. See, that's what I mean. Fidelity is saying I'm going to get 13.36%. So Fidelity's calculating this wrong. So 22.7% is what we're getting currently, which is pretty good. Okay, YMAG is actually really good because, I mean, if you think about it, considering it's been down only, I think, like 4%, 5.58% compared to XDT. That's really, really good. Okay, so that's that. We'll hop back to this. YMAG got 17 bucks. YMAG's $32. Now, this is it right here, guys. MSCY. Let me zoom in. $847 this week. Epic week. That's double since last month's payment. So we got really large payout. CLM, CRF are Todd special funds. If you know, you know. We got $61 between the two of them. And TSLP from Curve got 19 bucks. Okay, so total for the week, $2,041.81. Not bad. Let's look at our average. We're going to average the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. And we're averaging $1,256. You can't see it because it's in the bottom of my screen. 1256.08. We're going to multiply that by 52. That's projecting about $65,000 of income. Now, let's talk about erosion, right? So we do know that folks in Cambodia, their funds are eroding like crazy. So some of these numbers are not real because of the position I'm holding in SPY over the weekend. But really, this is what we're down for the year, 15.3. Okay, so this was before I had this in there. I think this was around like 7%, just a hair under 7% of being down. So far not bad. Now let's think about it logically. So if we're saying we're down 7%, and let's say we finished the year down 7%, we started out the year. I had 180. Let's see. I invested 175 plus, and then I had 12.6. So that's 187.6 my initial investment. 187.6 times 0.07. Let's say I wrap up the year with a 7% loss. So that's $13,000, right? That pretty much is in line with what I have here. Now some of these losses they're counting from my SPY position. So that's about what I had. So if I finish the year 7% down, and let's say I get that $65,000. So $65,000 minus the $13,000. So really, I'm going to wrap up the year with $52,000 in the green. Now, let's do what that is. So $52,000 divided by my initial investment of $187,000. That's about 27.8% gain. So that's like the projection that I'm seeing as of right now. As long as some of these funds continue to recover, I think that's not bad. 27% is pretty impressive. So we'll see how it performs. We'll see. We'll track it. And yeah, so far, pretty happy. I mean, I'm not happy with some of these picks that I had, but honestly, they make up such a small portion of my position. I mean, like the largest one, SMCY, which is 2% of my portfolio, that's down 30%. Looking back, XDTE, I was a little bit more greedy. I feel like I would have been better off just investing more into XPay, SpyEye, QQQI than XDT. But okay, let's switch gears into the margin hammer strategy. So for those folks who are new, basically once you have this portfolio, if you build a portfolio, and it doesn't matter which broker you use, most of them are pretty much the same, but what they do is they give you margin buying power, right? So a lot of folks, they use margin, they hold stuff on margin, they get margin calls. This is very common in Cambodia. But new strategy that I found, okay, and this is an epic thing. You can use this margin and you can also use the intraday buying power. So I have a portfolio of $174,000 right now. What Fidelity does is it gives me over $500,000 in intraday buying power. So I can swing that position during the day as long as I close my position, and I can do a little bit of day trading. I can try to capture a little bit of upside. That's what I've been doing for the past month, and I've been tracking it really for the past 2 weeks. And let me just show you what this last week's performance was. Now, yesterday, I got in a very bad position. Let me just show you what that was. And again, I'm still learning. This isn't like, I have this stuff figured out and patted down. But what I use is, this is a great one to use, which is TradingView. And TradingView, it's free. You can have it on your phone. You can have it anywhere. I'm not paid or sponsored by it. But this was the play on Friday. Okay, so yesterday, um, you know, we started out the day right here. Okay, this is the start of the day. 9:30 in the morning, we had a little bit of an uptick, and then we went down, then we went up, and this is where I got in. Okay, I got in somewhere around here, 567, a little bit under 567. I saw a break in structure. I saw we broke this low, and I thought that we might have some momentum here. Okay, and what my mistake was, of course, I went in full position. Now, I've done this before where it really worked out much better for me, where I went in half the position. So let's say if I have $500,000 buying power, if I go in $250,000 and let's say it goes the wrong way, I write it out to the bottom and then I enter the other position to undo my losses. And I've done that before and it worked out really well. This time I got really greedy. I wanted to get more money this week. So I kind of broke my own rules. Anyway, so I rode this wave and then it just went sideways the whole freaking day. Nothing really happened, okay? And I had to sell those shares. I had to sell 580 shares of SPY before end. I thought we'd have a huge recovery in the back. It kind of looked like that kind of pattern. We had this break structure here. Anyways, that didn't happen. I sold 580 shares. I kept 320 shares over the weekend. Now, it's risky. I really hope something nice comes out from these stocks, but you can see right here, I have 320 shares of SPY. So I took a loss when I sold those 580 shares. I took a loss of $1,600. Okay, so not proud of that. This wasn't my best day. This is one of my worst days, I would say. But it's okay. Let's just talk about the week, right? So Monday, the 5th, I made $1,300. Tuesday, I made $1,100. Wednesday, I made $1,000. Thursday was pretty epic. I made $2,200, and then I lost $1,600 on Friday. So if we tally that up, that's a sum of $4,200 for the week. Now that's $4,000 I didn't have, last week. So, the loss is a loss. And again, I'm pretty hopeful from these Geneva talks. I hope Monday we might see a rally. and get into that position at that low amount. If we can get a movement, let's say 2, 3, $4, I'm going to make this money up and I'm going to make some more money on top of that. So that's me tracking this. I got 2 weeks in of tracking. If you look here, some of these days were stupid. Like I overtraded here trying to fight back. I lost pretty much everything. But overall, I mean, in the past 2 weeks, that's $10,000. So not bad. I need to tune in my strategy and do that 2-punch system. I think that's the way to go. So wanted to share that with you. That's really all I got, folks, for today. I wanted to make this brief and short. So I hope everybody enjoys their weekend, and we'll see you next week. Take care, folks.